Can there still be salvation for humans who have turned into dark wretches? New players in Domain 9. Who think there must be such questions? Originally, Domain 9 was blessed by timestamp technology. Domain Guard is enough to fight darkness. And use it in the domain. Under the leadership of the head of the local guard, countless of its current were closed. No matter its lands file. It's also mentioned in the Mime of Fies. But the Dark Wretch turned this advantage into a disadvantage. The Domain Health Association was transformed into a Dark Wretch in the battle. Become the Pawn of Darkness. Attack the previous teammates in reverse. Plus, Domain 9 is now facing the field energy crisis. If there is no alternative energy, Infinite Sundial can't absorb field energy. It will not be possible to drive the timestamp system, so as to lose the means to fight against darkness. In the case of eliminating the other strengths, the destruction of Domain 9 has become a foregone conclusion. In order to recover the decline of Domain 9, save this situation. The most important way to break the situation is to wake up Dark Wretch. In order to understand Dark Wretch, let's take a look at the official information first. Dark Wretch was transformed in the battle. This is particularly important. This indicates that they did not truly die. It's just that human consciousness has been temporarily suppressed. Darkness consciousness took over their bodies. Since consciousness is not dead, there's a possibility of awakening. The person who proposed this hypothesis is Chen Xian's mother Chen Ji. We are not unfamiliar with taking over the body. Umi was once possessed by the Pretender. Since human consciousness has not yet died out, then there is a possibility of treatment. So Chen Ji ran down in many ways. Finally received support. Among them, the support of Phantom Palace is the most powerful. The Phantom Palace was originally a guard in the Domain 9, also known as the Shadow Domain Guard. They also call themselves Shadow Guard. Its leader is Fies, the first dancer in Domain 9. Both are invisible beings. It is most appropriate for them to lead this matter. So we are at the foot of the Bat Mountain of Cloud Peak Manor. A special research institute has been built. It is named Cloudbreaker Institute, thanks to the strong strength of Kyushu Heavy Industries. The facilities in Cloudbreaker Institute are complete. The conditions are even superior to the external environment. Some of the members are for better living conditions. There are countless connections with Dark Wretch. There are also relatives who become Dark Wretch. But Cloudbreaker Institute's experiment is top secret. It must not be disclosed to the outside world. If the civilians know that someone is studying Dark Wretch, there will definitely be chaos in the world. Confidentiality has become the primary condition. It is necessary to restrict travel for this reason. Besides, there must also be someone responsible for research safety. This person is Chen Ji. This is also one of the conditions that support her from multiple sources, even included in the contract. To protect the security of Cloudbreaker Institute, Fies also sent the Shadow Guards of Phantom Palace to protect them day and night. With such multi-party assistance, the study of Dark Wretch began to get on track. It is worth mentioning that at this time, an organization was also established in Marshville. That's Yu Hengxi, who was led by the previous generation of White Tiger Nanny. The main object of its research is darkness. A study of darkness is weakness. Provided a lot of valuable intelligence for the battle at that time. It was also a project valued by Domain 9 senior management at that time. Like all the other wonders of Cloudbreaker Institute. At first, the focus of the research institute is on the treatment of the body. It's like having a patient now. You know his soul was damaged, but you don't know how to treat the soul. Then we can only repair his body first. So the focus of the initial research was on finding drugs. But it quickly failed. The medicine that causes death is not as easy to obtain as the medicine for flesh and bones. Just as the research was deadlocked, a researcher's discovery brought a turning point. He is Feng Ji. Speaking of Feng Ji, also an important figure in the research of Cloudbreaker Institute. His enthusiasm for studying Dark Wretch was too high, belonging to the representative of the already insane research. Even more aggressive behavior in research. Dark Wretch is a dangerous creature after all. There is a risk of bursting out of the can. In a sudden event, he found the Dark Wretch devil coming out of the broken pot. After being killed, the energy emitted affected his potted plant. The plant has changed into Ridril. Mention Ridril. In Domain 9, there is no lack of interest. On the contrary, this plant is also very famous. It was recorded as early as 2692 AD. Dirty grass has a hallucinogenic effect. It can affect people's consciousness, but they are generated by the influence of darkness energy. Therefore, in Domain 9, it is an existence that has been explicitly destroyed. But now it has become the lifeline of Dark Wretch reversal experiment. Feng Ji put forward a hypothesis. Will Dark Wretch react to the weeds? Soon the breeding room of Ridril was successfully constructed. In order to maximize the use of the darkness energy contained in Ridril, an extraction room has been established inside Cloudbreaker Institute. And all of this is prepared for a virtual dream system. That's the Mirage System. The Mirage System is darkness energy extracted from Ridril. A giant illusion constructed from it. It can also be intuitively understood as a virtual world. At this point, the research of Cloudbreaker Institute has entered the second stage. Research on synchronization between virtual and reality. Do you remember what the researchers said when Lon logged in? Lady Fei say, Lon enters the Mirage world for the first time. Enter the Mirage world. That's right. The real Cloudbreaker Institute is where Lon logs in. Research is not only conducted in real space. It is synchronized in the virtual Mirage world. So all the existence in the Mirage world is either fictional. Either it's the uploaded consciousness body. This is very important. From this, we can see that the truth of Cloudbreaker Institute's research is to capture the Dark Wretch transformed from Domain Guard. Reuse the device to promote Dark Wretch consciousness. Upload to the Research Institute in the Mirage world. And then real researchers enter the Mirage world through consciousness uploading machine. A study on the experiment of awakening Dark Wretch. Speaking of this, you already understand. Actually, there are two Cloudbreaker Institute. One is in reality. The other is in the Mirage world. But as a result, this experiment is prone to problems. The experimental body of Dark Wretch is unstable. But anyone who can no longer upload consciousness to the Mirage world, it can only be scrapped and disposed of. In the plot, this phenomenon is called activation data dissatisfaction. Lord Qinji, the activation data of number 367 does not match the experimental requirements. Well, let's deal with it according to the process. This uncertainty is fatal to the experiment. Perhaps the experimental body still meets the requirements today. It can be only handled tomorrow. The previous efforts on the experimental body were in vain. But that's not the point yet. Don't forget, every Dark Wretch is transformed in the battle. They have a human consciousness. This means that every time an experimental body is processed, it's like killing someone. All such crimes should be borne by the initiator Chen Ji. This is also why Chen Xin feels lost after learning the truth. In order to suppress the Dark Wretch reversal experiment, her mother's Chen Ji hands are covered with blood. But this is a necessary sacrifice to break the deadlock and save Domain 9. See this? You should have known the truth of Mirage. But what we enter in the plot is not a real Mirage. Only a small part of the Mirage system. So how did the real Mirage world collapse? In fact, it was mentioned multiple times in the plot. With the operation of the Mirage world, more and more darkness energy is consumed. For these energies, it is necessary to extract more Ridril. But extraction itself carries risks. A miscalculation of a decimal point can lead to disaster. In the end, an accident occurred. The source of energy supply is gone. The Mirage world will fall apart. But don't forget, the Mirage world is not just the consciousness of the experimental body, and with the awareness of researchers. Without the Researchers Research Institute, it has to choose to scrap. This is why Cloudbreaker Institute was not damaged in the clearly realistic. But the reason for being abandoned. Because the real Cloudbreaker Institute in the Mirage has been destroyed. Cloudbreaker Institute's research has also become a dust in history. Since the appearance of darkness, it has always been closely related to the level of consciousness, whether it's beehive consciousness or controlling the body. Darkness is not just physical. Can it actually exist as an ideology? The mystery is getting bigger and bigger. Next, let's talk about our plot experience. I said the main character was totally schemed by Fies. Do you believe it? Let's set the time back to locating Comet Mara. The protagonist ran errands to buy a locator. Then she met Fies, who was also shopping. At that time, Xiaofeng had already suspected whether this was a coincidence. Now it doesn't seem like a coincidence. We are variables from outside the domain. It is also the best person to guide Chen Xian. To clarify the logic here, time still needs to be pushed forward. About a month ago, a 10-year-old girl appeared at the back of Cloud Peak Manor. She is Chen Xian. I came to search for my mother's trace. She doesn't know exactly where her mother is. She just learned from Wang Mama, who adopted her. Her mother comes from the Back Mountain. But at this time, Cloudbreaker Institute has been abandoned. Shadow Guard of Dark Wretch wandering in the Back Mountain. Don't ask me why a Dark Wretch wears a bamboo hat. Don't ask me why Dark Wretch is greedy. I can only say, that's how it's introduced in the plot. This is also the connection between PV and the plot. Chen Xian is chased all the way, until she met Lon and Fies. Under Fies' dance of death, the Shadow Guard of Dark Wretch turned into ashes. And after that, Fies tells Chen Xian about the existence of Cloudbreaker Institute. Chen Xian also returned to the village. From then on, she continued to explore the Back Mountain, to gain a glimpse of the truth of the past. This also explains why Chen Xian knows the existence of Cloudbreaker Institute, and have access to it. Everything is mother's Chin Ji please Fies. But Chen Xian only found a fantasy. It will repeat a fragment that happened in the past of the Research Institute countless times. But because the mortal heart cannot interact with the illusion, always unable to discover the truth behind it. Just at this moment, the variable executor of Domain 9 appears. Fies also learned about our existence from Lon, and coincidentally met at the Tianhe market. I'm not making this up. How did the parties acknowledge it? The following information comes from Fies' pseudo-dialogue. It's normal to say hello first. And then, in the future, how many offenses have you made? Please forgive me? Is this the right thing to say when people first meet? We can only suspect the protagonist for being too young, ignoring the dangers of society. Fies said that offending is really going to offend. Then the protagonist learned about Chen Xian's disappearance, getting involved, and everything that happened. All in the eyes of Fies. Do you still remember the other account we uploaded our consciousness to? That's right, after we entered the instrument. Fies is also a number, and it's right next to our instrument. In the illusion, we learned that this is the group consciousness upload room. That's why Sugar can give Chen Xian. Chen Xian is the first to enter the Fairyland. Her account is the backdoor left by Qinji and others, belonging to Tour's account. Can watch, but cannot participate. The account number of the protagonist is Lan's. Not only can she log in, she can also interact with the scene, thereby affecting the development of the illusion. It's also the key to breaking the game. Fies' account permissions are above us, just like a back-end administrator, to clean up the mess left by Cloudbreaker Institute. Her purpose is to guide the protagonist to lead Chen Xian to discover the truth. Guide Chen Xian because of Chen Ji's request. So what is guiding the protagonist for? Presumably, many people also found the difference between Fies and the Fairyland. She has taught us many great truths. She also said that in the future, we will face choices. But how many people can see the direction of the end when truly standing at the fork in the road you choose? You should remember that the greater the responsibility you bear, the heavier the choice you make, because the power you hold in your hands will affect the fate of many people. Whether it's Supercomputer Tempo Supercomputer, Fies, MS.YU, and others, each one is a real person. They all seem to know what will happen in the future. But just don't say, what would be the final choice? Is Nanine's mutiny also related to this choice? We can only sit and wait for the follow-up. The illusion we see in the plot is only part of the remnants of the Mirage. It can be understood as a game. The fictional characters and consciousness inside will constantly repeat the same behavior, until a variable appears to break this game. And we are this variable. The executor who took over the Lon account through continuous action finally broke the deadlock. The result is that Chen Ji sees Chen Xian. Before that, only Chen Xian can see Chen Ji. But Chen Ji can't see Chen Xian. When mother and her child meet, the illusion has lost its value. Finally, it was reduced to ashes under the flame of Fies. When we log out, Fies has come out ahead of time and disappeared. Only the petals prove that she was here. After going out, we met Lon, who came to pick up Chen Xian. This time, Chen Xian has solved her doubts. She can officially join Shadow Guard. At this point, the entire article is completed. Judging from this plot, Domain 9 is indeed a part of Planet Ida. At least humans must be. They all enjoy conducting dangerous experiments in secret. It's the same school as Hypros. It seems that no matter which time and space is, researchers have a restless heart in their hearts. Hypros developed a simulacrum. Vera created the Lab experimental body. What will Domain 9 produce? Looks like we can look forward to it now. The interpretation of this article is for everyone to understand. Doubts in the plot. A general introduction. A more detailed interpretation will be continuously updated in the future. Tada really did a big job this time. Okay, that's all for this issue. Follow Xiaofeng and experience a different Tower of Fantasy.